Welcome to the Gastlecast. We're glad you passed by. You get the right time. We had an all-time high. Funko's hot toys and charms on mine. Stick around, like, comment, and be sure to subscribe because life's a little better when you have some Chris and Heather. Hey, life's a little better when you have some Chris and Heather. Hey, life's a little better when you have some Chris and Heather. And remember, at these hour walls, we are together. Yes.
So we're back for part 2.
Yep, number 2, because this is a bunch of
So we're back to talk about all the really bad news that happened earlier this week. Now, Dr. Applesauce made his own video talking about all this.
Yes, and he actually speculated a name, and we're here to confirm some names. Unfortunately.
Allegedly.
The whole company knows now. There was like a whole thing that got sent out.
Well, then a friend sent us a message, and I'm not going to name who this person is, but he gave us public information I thought was interesting. He said he had watched the video, but he says Funko has been operating at a negative cash flow since Q1 2022, and their debt increased by $100 million in Q2 2022. The new CFO, Scott, was hired as an interim for a minimum of 4 weeks, getting paid $38,000 a week.
There's a lot of people out there that make that in a year.
He probably went to school. He's got a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of people out there that make a lot of money.
He must be really good to be making $38,000 a week.
He must be really good to lose an entire art department. I mean, I don't think him being paid all that money means that that's why we lost the art department. Or is it? Speculation, allegedly.
I was just going to ask you if we should say allegedly.
Let's just say speculation and allegedly a lot.
Okay.
So a couple of things to get off the table.
Okay.
People reached out to us, former Funko employees.
Yes.
Thanking us and praising us for the video that we made.
Honestly, I was nervous to post that video because it came with a lot of bad news. Like, we had made jokes when we were just speculating that something was going on with the social media team.
Yeah.
Finding that out is incredibly sad. Having, like, all of the big guys in the art department leave, sad as
It is, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because all those people who reached out to us, it was really sweet hearing from them. We appreciated it. The fact that they were happy that the video came out made me feel good that we actually did it.
Yes, because when we put stuff like that out, it makes me so nervous that it's gonna be received the wrong way.
But we got a lot of problems from other commenters because I referred to my poop at one point.
Okay.
But the reason for that is because I wanted to keep the normal Gastlecast humor in the video, even during dark times. I always look to humor, even in my real life, beyond the camera.
Honestly, it helps me keep my spirits up. Every time we go through something that's like hard or dark, you're there to like make jokes. Sometimes I'm like, okay, Chris, now's not the time. But for the most part, like, it makes me feel better, even if things are
Yeah, like my poop. It's a coping mechanism. But for the people who didn't like it and complained, we had more people praising in the fact that it helped them cope with the bad news.
Well, let me just take a second to say the people who were complaining don't work for Funko and have never worked for Funko, but the people who were praising us work for Funko or have worked for Funko.
Right.
So, sorry about it.
Anyway, the whole point is that I'm glad we made the video. I'm glad that we got such great feedback. And to those who did not like my poop humor, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
No. I'm sorry that you're a...
Yeah, that.
So one thing that went public based off our conversation previously is that one of the big people, one of the big figureheads, one of the people I consider legendary, somebody that I referred to as being an inspiration for Mischief Toys, Reese O'Brien. So Reese O'Brien has been let go from Funko. Reese O'Brien was making some of the greatest figures, and he's the guy that came up with doing Ghost, the band Ghost.
Yes.
We probably will never get Ghost Funko Pops ever again because he's gone.
So I hope that we do, but I don't think that they'll ever be as good as when Reese did them.
I think we lost it. I think it's gone. I think it's done for now. I really do. I think it's over. I think it's game over.
Another thing, Boo Hollow.
Yeah, Boo Hollow. I was just about to say that. So Boo Hollow losing the guy behind that, for Funko and fans of Funko, that's a big problem.
Yeah,
because
Boo Hollow is incredible.
Huge, and it's been growing. But all they're going to do is take that Boo Hollow idea, grow that, because there's already another wave lined up. We saw that at Fright Night.
Which is so sad. That's another sad part, because he was at Fright Night on stage talking about how amazing it's been, and they said, F you, basically.
But they let him go because he was trying to stick up for his employees. So he went out, in my opinion, as a hero.
Yeah.
Another person who apparently was let go was Sean Wilkinson.
Yes, and he was Funko's senior creative director. I don't know what all that means, but I know that anything that says senior and director is, like, huge.
I don't know that name specifically, but one name that I know very well, and who happened to also be at Fright Night, Ben Butcher.
Wasn't he the one making the artwork?
He was the one painting the entire time.
So he was painting, they were like doing sort of a raffle sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was part of that. So two people that were at the event are no longer with Funko. That was just a few months ago.
And Ben was the senior vice president of the creative department.
So Ben left apparently in protest.
So as far as we know, Reese and Sean got fired for sticking up for everybody. Ben said, F this, F you, peace.
All three of them went down because they were trying to help the art department.
In case this is the first video you're tuning into, or you don't quite remember what happened, the art department was petitioning to get a safer work environment and better wages.
And that is a good way to get yourself canned at a large company. When you start doing petitions and stuff, that can cause a lot of problems, and that can cause everybody who's involved with that petition to see their way out, unfortunately.
The Funko artists found out that they were making roughly $10,000 to $20,000 less than the industry standard, and I did find out a bit more on the safer working conditions. They were forced to do mandatory overtime, which is illegal.
Oh.
But they found loopholes.
Well, they're good at that, apparently, from what we know.
Speaking of loopholes, in our last video, I had mentioned that the person who did the firing, Brian, allegedly, we had talked about how Funko had cut a ton of people in 2020, right around the pandemic, and didn't give them severance pay and just said, peace out, see you later, bye. I had mentioned in the last video that he gave himself a raise. Didn't give himself a raise. He got a $2 million bonus.
$2 million?
$2 million.
Oh my God.
So no severance packages for the poor people who were suffering the effects of the fucking pandemic, let go of a job that they could have had for years and years and were damn good at. And then Brian's like, you know what? I deserve $2 million.
I'm really glad that our shot at meeting like some of the big guys at New York Comic Con last year happened, because it probably will never happen again after we made these videos.
Probably not.
I mean, these videos are not good.
They're not good.
I mean, it's not good. Definitely not a good relationship starter with Funko.
Okay, but in our defense, we are reporting news.
Right.
Giving our opinion, which everybody has an opinion, right? Opinions are like assholes, and there are assholes at Funko letting people go.
Allegedly.
And giving themselves bonuses.
Allegedly. By the way, we didn't say allegedly very loud when we talked about the bonus thing, because of course we only know this from sources, so allegedly bonuses happened for $2 million. Allegedly.
I heard that from like multiple people.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Do you want to be thrown in the slammer and they throw away the key?
Funko cannot lock me up. What are they going to do? Call the police? Excuse me, you need to investigate this toy YouTube channel.
They could sue the pants off us. You're not wearing pants now.
That's by choice. I don't want my pantsuit off.
I thought maybe Funko already took care of it.
Nope. I'm preventing it. If the roles were reversed and Brian was in the position of all the people that were let go, he wouldn't like it either. And he would be pissed if the big guy got a $2 million bonus and he was cut with no severance. If he doesn't agree with this video, then I don't know what to tell ya.
So let's dive off the cliff a little bit into something entirely different.
Okay.
A large Funko news source on Twitter asked if we were reputable. And I just want to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly. And also on Twitter, our friend Funko Finders asked, who's everybody's favorite YouTuber.
While we're bringing up that news, that's actually good news, and you can tell that I'm really excited to talk about something good in this video because I hate reporting.
That's why I'm bringing this up, because it's been pretty
crazy stuff?
gnarly up until this point.
I didn't count names. I really wish that there was like a poll option so we could like see percentages without having to do the math. I saw our name more than I saw anybody else's. Skittles was really high up on that list. Franchise Kicks, Top Pops, of course, Wasatch, Franchise Kicks, and honestly, I did not expect to see his name as much as I did, only because he's like the bad guy, because he does a lot of the mystery box stuff.
A lot of people love the bad guy, Heather.
I know.
Look how many fans of Darth Vader there are.
I know.
Fett.
And I love Freddy Krueger. Mm-hmm. I love Jason.
Who would win in a fight? Jason Voorhees or Clint from Franchise Kicks?
Oh, definitely Clint. You know, he's a really, really, really nice person, but I bet you he could f*** Jason up.
I thought you were going to say he's going to f*** Jason. I was like, that is one way to win that battle. That's one way to take it.
No, to give it. That would show dominance. Dr. Applesauce was on the list. I mean, we were up there with a bunch of, like, big timers.
Wow. Well, I don't know if you realize, but we're also big timers now. It seems like the more subs we get, the larger your glasses get. And the larger my belly and boobs get.
So are we big timers or are we the big timers? With the gator boots and the pimped out Gucci suits.
If we're getting all that, I'm going to say we are the big timers. Yeah, we have to be.
We stay shine.
Yeah, we do, whatever that means.
I mean, I can't pay my rent because all my money's spent. But it's okay because I'm still fly.
Okay, let's get past this.
Okay, we can do that. But I enjoyed it. Just so you're aware.
Allegedly.
Okay, so back to the news. God,
I love the transition. Now we're going to talk about the negative stuff. What's the next thing we're going to talk about that's not good?
Okay, I'm going to read like bits and pieces of some of the things that people sent us who actually had worked over at Funko.
Okay.
I was really high up at Funko for 4.5 years and was very disappointed with the direction of the company that I resigned in late 2022. There are really great people that wanted the company to focus on what we did best versus pivoting to every shiny object. The people that were let go were some of the best in the biz. My mentors are at some of the biggest brands in the world, and they told me that in situations like the one I was in, it's better to leave with your integrity intact than to look like you are compliant with decisions you don't agree with. So I took a major risk for myself and my family and left because of my reputation and legacy. I am a compassionate leader, and it's more important than a paycheck. That's incredible.
That is incredible.
So this is like a quote that should probably be like put in paintings and
The Gastlecast is the best channel on YouTube?
Oh no, we're the cringiest. What you allow is what will continue.
Wow.
I wasn't going to be a part of it any longer. I couldn't get behind a company that put its people last. So that was from just one person. So this comes from another person who was at Funko, and this person was an artist. I got laid off in 2020 with no severance, and I really appreciate you making a video about this. I got rehired back on in 2021, so I saw a bit of the significant downfall before moving to another very large company. I'm not going to name it just in case. I absolutely was paid significantly less than when I moved companies. I think I was making something around $70,000 at Funko, which was a mid-tier role. And now at my new job, I'm at $82,000 in a slightly lower position with at least half of the workload.
Wow.
So they're doing half of the work with a lower position.
Wow.
Making over $10,000 more. Not to mention all of the incredible benefits on top of that.
Crappy benefits, being worked to the bone, not making what they're supposed to be making. A lot of bad things for the people that were working at Funko in the art department.
Yes. It was honestly so devastating to see all of this happen because Funko used to be a genuinely fun place to work.
Yeah.
It's always had issues, but it was such a great environment that a lot of us were willing to work around the issues. There are other companies that are still corporate as hell, but at least they take care of their employees.
And that's what we would all come to expect if we're working at a large company.
I was forwarded the video from some of the artists still at Funko, and I just desperately hope things improve. I know they won't, but the artists are some of the hardest working, most skilled people out there, and they deserve better.
100,000%.
I hope this video spreads because people deserve to know how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, I mean, that's who we did it for, right? We did it for all the people who are currently, even right now today, the people who are still there, they're still under the corporate thumb.
It makes me so sad because, like, we love Funko. We love their products. We love, like, the fun aspect of it. But seeing this, like, dark inside look really has me
Unfortunately,
upset.
a lot of corporate America, it's the center of it is always very dark, and
Oh, yeah.
companies don't, you hear companies not caring about the people that work for them, similar to this. There's a lot of bad things that come out of corporate America, and I'm hoping that the people who no longer work for Funko are landing on their feet. We know that they will because they're very talented individuals.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, Reese O'Brien, as an example, right? Butcher, as well. These guys are going to be able to land on their feet somewhere and do really great work. Sad as that we're not getting Boo Hollow anymore, at least from the right person.
Yeah.
If they continue to do it, I have no faith in that anymore.
I mean, it was literally his creation. Like, he had some on his desk from what we hear, and someone came up and said, I want that line. That's new Funko line.
Yeah, this is all a big turn of sad events, and we're hearing about it happening over at Funko. Anytime I thought about Funko, I thought about, like, Google and how they have, like, those open air areas, and you got the big chairs that you sit in.
Oh, well, you
and
know
they play
something?
ping pong.
Oh, they have a f***ing bowling alley over at Funko.
Do they really?
Yes.
Wow.
But they treat their employees like f***ing garbage.
So they did have a lot of the stuff that I'm thinking about. Wow.
I pictured it as, like, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And I think in our last video, didn't I mention Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
Candy and fun and beauty everywhere.
Companies usually give those types of amenities when they want their workforce to stay. They don't want them to go home. They want them to work very long hours. So they're giving them the things like tools or games, the fun. Hey, come and have fun here and then go to work. And then go back and have some more fun and then go to work, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how they get them to work longer. Giving them food all the time, probably a lot of free food would be my guess. A lot of companies do that as well.
I'd get so fat working there.
Oh.
I wouldn't be able to fit through the door. I'd have to stay there.
You couldn't leave?
I mean, if they're giving free food, you better believe I'm taking advantage of that.
So this is part 2 of a series that I have no idea will ever end. Depending on when this bad news stops flowing, we continue to get more and more and more and more, and we're trying to put it out there in a very fair way, I guess. At least we're trying to put it out for the people who are affected in a fair way and kind of show what they're going through. Right now, and we're trying to do we're not trying to attack Funko or anything, but we're just trying to bring the truth to the to light.
I'm torn because I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I feel like Funko could be so much better. I feel like it was so much better at one time. Again, when companies grow, things get more corporate, bad happens. But you still have to think of your employees. Like, you need to treat your employees better. And realistically, they should have said, oh, you want more money? You know what? We are making hand over fist. Here's a bonus. Here's a raise.
You got to do something. You got to keep your workforce happy, because without your workforce, you don't have a company.
Yeah, so
you got to
now
have the people who are working and delivering. Probably one of the biggest issues they're going to face right now is morale. If I were an artist there right now, I might think, I probably should go somewhere else. If this stuff is happening, they're not helping us, we're petitioning, and if we petition, they let us go. I wouldn't want to stay in that type of environment.
No.
It doesn't seem like Funko is doing anything for their people. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but I would be rethinking my entire life in this moment. I wouldn't stay there much longer unless Funko comes out and says, here are the things that we're going to do. We're going to make things better, boost morale a bit. But I just cannot see that happen in this money-hungry sort of state that they're currently in.
No.
And one of the people who wrote to us, they specifically said that. They noticed that things are sort of going downhill, and Funko is trying to just make everything. instead of focusing on what they're good at. And until they're done going and touching and wanting to be a part of anything, the itty bitty thing is them trying to get into a whole different type of market with those stupid, what are they called? The
mini brands and Shopkins.
Yeah, mini brands and Shopkins. Now they're trying to get into that type of field.
Yeah.
Don't be a part of, don't do that. This is all crap that's going to end up in these cheapy value stores like 5 and below. We need to take all of that out of the equation, focus on the Funko Pops, the limited pieces, limited sodas. Do what you do and do it well, and then think about branching out. Sometimes I think that maybe Funko has overdone it, and there is no going back. So who knows what we'll see. Maybe in 2023 things will get better by the end of the year. I don't have high hopes and all that. I hate making negative videos like this one and putting out all of this, people who are losing their jobs and everything. I don't like making this kind of content. It's not fun for me, but I feel like that Funko collectors and the Funko family should be aware of what the hell is going on.
Absolutely, because like you just said, Funko family. Like, that's how they refer to themselves and their collectors. Yeah. But how can you be a family if you're stabbing each other in the back? Before we go, I do want to take note of something because this whole video I've been thinking about it. So we have been receiving praise, which is very interesting because when it comes to like corporate sort of stuff and people's jobs, people get really weird about that.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's ex-employees and employees reaching out to us, thanking us.
And the Funko fan base.
Yes, thanking us is very interesting. But I think a big reason that people associated or who have been associated with Funko are so grateful is because you saw what happened when people tried to speak up. They fired their greatest talent. Yeah. They can't say, hey, I'm unhappy. I'd really appreciate a raise, or I really think that things would be better if we did this or did that.
Right.
They can't speak for themselves. My hope is that these videos get back to Funko and it's sort of a nudge like, hey guys, why don't you think about the employees a little bit? Like, I understand that they have to keep their stakeholders in mind. You have to keep your employees in mind first, because you can't run a successful business if you don't have employee retention and if you don't keep your employees happy, because there's just going to be all this turnaround and things are going to be inconsistent and it's just a whole mess.
And Funko, if you're going to listen to anybody, you're going to listen to the channel that changed one of your Funko Pops. We changed the Zordon NFT Funko Pop, and I have a certificate here to prove that. So if you're going to listen to any channel about changes that need to be made within your company, the corporate structure, we have no know-how in that at all, but I think we can help, because I changed the Zordon Funko Pop. Like, I feel like this might do something.
You are so proud that we changed Zordon. I wouldn't be surprised if you got this copied and hung it in every room in our house, or put it on your headstone.
I'm making a t-shirt, did I tell you that? So since you had your final word, I have mine as well. It's so nice to see that the Funko community is coming together, and it shows that the Funko family is outside of Funko HQ. Funko HQ is not the Funko family. They're just selling the t-shirts that say Funko family. We're all the Funko family, and we're here for those people who ended up losing their jobs, the social media team, the art team. You guys are all talented individuals. We enjoyed all of the things that you've done over the years, be it Funko Pops that you've created, or the social media team showing things off and making things very exciting for us. You guys are all awesome, and I just know for a fact they're so talented, they're going to land on their feet and they're going to do better than ever.
Oh yeah, and especially hearing about how Funko treated people, they're going to find much better jobs.
Absolutely, and I'm just so happy to see that the Funko family of collectors come together in a time like this, and we can all lean on each other. We've had a lot of people reach out to us, not just Funko people, but just people in the community, basically saying just how devastated they are to hear about all the things that are going on right now. And I assume after this video, we'll hear even more. And we are here. We are your voice. If you have things that you want to hear on this channel, or things that happen behind the scenes that we can talk about, please send them to us. Please reach out. Gastlecast@gmail.com. Reach out to us on Instagram at Gastlecast. We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear your story, and we'll discuss it right here on the channel. With that said, we would like to know what you guys think about this entire situation and more. Let us know all of that in the comment section down below. In every video, we like to shout out to some of our patrons from Patreon. In this video, we'd like to shout out to Pop Alex 223, Lil Stevie, David Palama, Silver Haired Wolf, Foolish Morgans, Kathy Roberts, Brad Landis, John DeLuca, Joe B, and the VinCat. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons. You guys rock. And if you would like to become a patron on Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Gastlecast and find out all the ways that you can support. Thank you for staying until the very end of the video. We appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, as always, we're on together, yes. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.